It's just after 4:30. Sorry, we were running a couple minutes behind getting us up and going. But I'd like to welcome everybody to the work session. Thank you all for coming and being with us. The first thing on the agenda, I know we've got Mr. Fry is going to go over the rezones that will be heard at the 5:30 meeting, so that way the board can ask any questions of what's on the record. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you, Wes.
Are you going to do the clicker for me?
I got you. I'm clicking.
All right.
The first one.
RZ 19045A, that's on Highway 53 in Pea Ridge. It is currently agriculture and they want to go to rural residential. It's 15.6 acres. The reason for the rezone was to divide the property into lots for affordable housing. As you saw the map there, it's an odd shape. It's got all road frontage. There is one little cutout of it, and the next map shows the complexion. There's highway business across the street, industrial on the back side of it, ag across one other street, and then rural residential around it. If you're familiar with the area, it's out on Highway 53 East. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the ag to RR, and as you can see, the Planning Commission voted 4 yes and 1 no.
Can you go back to the map real quick?
Yes.
Is that Huber or is that the industrial?
That is one of the plants there.
Do we need to have any kind of buffer between it being industrial and rural residential?
Now, not the rural residential side, the industrial will have a buffer.
Okay. What's their buffer?
30 minimum, 40 if it's just like zoning like this in rural residential, but if it's already in place, they're somewhat, can stay with the buffer they had, which would have been 30.
Okay.
One thing that I know we were talking about where the request was to split the lots into a number of lots, and it didn't. I didn't hear it in the meeting. I may have missed that point in the meeting, but in the application process or any other time, did they ever describe the number of lots that they're wanting to turn this into?
When he first discussed it about a year ago, he said he wanted to do 7 lots, 1 large lot to keep and 6 lots to sell.
My question about that would be, does that cross the line from minor subdivision to something else? Because if you go above 7, that crosses out of minor.
Right now, it would be a minor.
Even if it goes to 7, is 7 total, or say 6 to sell and 1 for himself, or 7 to sell and 1 for himself?
Well, no, it would be 1 for himself. He'd keep 1 of the lots.
And 7 total, counting the one he's keeping for himself.
Right.
Okay, all right. That was the one that I wasn't 100% clear.
And the minimum for those lots to be 1.5 acres, is that correct?
Correct, for rural residential. Now, I don't know, he did not reiterate what his plans were after that, but that was about a year or so ago. But he's owned the property for a while.
Okay. Any other questions on this? Okay. All right. Move to the next one.
The next one is RZ 190459. That's Carbine Road. It's out there off of Yellow Creek. It's rural residential at present, and he wants to change it to agriculture. It's 11.01 acres. He's going to make the property a farm. He's got chickens now that he does things with. I thought it was a little more exaggerated in its purpose, but now his father lives in the southern part of that little cutout, and then they have the rest of that property. And they've got some vineyards and some other things in there, and he's planting something all the time, so he wants to go to agriculture.
Okay.
The zoning map is ag around it, then the rural residential. I often wonder how the rural residential came about in the first place, but don't you see where it was. And so you can see the complexion. And the planning staff recommended approval, and the planning commission voted unanimously to approve. Any questions there?
No questions. Nothing was straightforward. That's the only 2 we've got.
The only 2 we got this time. Right?
That's the way we like for it to go.
2 at a time.
2 and 1
I think for the next one, we're already up to 5 or more. So yeah. I think we'll have a longer run at it next go around. Wes, thank you. Appreciate it very much. All right, so we'll move into department head updates. We'll look for volunteers as to who wants to go first, and then I'll start picking on people if we don't. I will volunteer.
Get it out of the way. I just wanted to give you an update that the safety grant that Kim applies for every year from our workers' comp carrier, she submitted that today, and it was for the fire. Y'all might know the correct name for it, hoodies for the firefighters. For protection.
Is that what it is?
It's protection hoods, goes under the fire helmet, yeah.
I didn't know if there was a fire technical name for it. That's why I looked at
Yeah,
it.
that's
Not hoodies.
She got that submitted today, and hopefully we'll get a reimbursement check for that before long. And I mentioned to Chairman Stansel that there's a new learning management system that's been provided through our benefits broker, and I've looked at it, looked at some of the courses, and it's a lot better than what we've been doing. So, and I've handed out some information to the department heads, and I'm going to be sending that out in the next couple of days. But if I missed you, hopefully I'll get with you. I'm going to send an email out first because it's going to have my name on it, but it will say notifications at learning.xywave.com. And want everybody to know, that it is from me and not the bad email, and you can click on it. And the first one's going to be, it's an employment law training, essential for managers. And it's just the basics of several of the different employment laws. And so I'm going to be sending it out in the next couple of days.
Any HR questions?
I try not to ask HR questions.
It's better than getting called in and getting asked questions. That's when the reverse is. It's a little bit worse. All right. Wes, since you're sitting on the same row with her, you want to go ahead and go next, and I'll just work my way back in the room.
Sure, and I provided you with an expanded view of this, and at your leisure, and I have one for you too, Lisa. And so this year we have 59 this month, 59 permits, and for the year total 89, and that is 23 site-built homes for the month of April, with 68 site-built since 2023 started. Any other details that you want is in there. There's nice charts and color and so on.
Is the comparison in here from the 22, 23? I know I saw it one day. I just didn't know if it was in this one or not.
It is, I think it's on this
Yeah, it's on the last page.
last page.
Showing.
And it started off slow, but we're only 4% down from last year, but it really kicked back in for April.
Yeah.
Because last year, January and February were pretty strong too.
Good. Any questions?
No.
All right. Yes.
I had one more thing that I forgot to mention. We were notified today from Mountainside MedScreens, that's who does all of our drug testing, pre-employment and randoms, that she has got her place up for sale. And so hopefully somebody will buy it that will do that. I just want to get the word out because that's really the only standalone place like that in town.
Okay. That's good. Yes, sir, Mr. Mark.
Just two updates on two things I'm working on. One is the Tate Mountain Association Sequoia Dam remediation work. We've got those papers signed, turned back into them. They're going to start their seismic study work, and then the other contractor is going to begin to proceed their work. We got their paperwork started for being county vendors so that we can pay them when that time comes. So that's moving along. And then also we received a grant from FEMA to pay for a contractor to do our hazard mitigation plan update. And I'm working on the invitation list, and we'll get a meeting started here soon. We have to have several community meetings to ask the community's input to that program and that plan, and we'll get that started very soon. It does expire, I believe it's March of next year.
Okay.
Every 5 years we have to update it.
All right. Who's next?
We're, as far as I know, we're done with Jerusalem until they get ready to pave it. I know my guys have been out there for the last 3 months, solid, it seems like. But we got all of our part done and it's ready for the contractors to come in and pave. We're settling the contracts with the paving contractors and hopefully we'll have a pre-construction meeting here in the next few weeks and we'll be able to nail down, you know, a tentative start date with them. Good news, chip seal is starting on Talc Mine next week. We're going to go over the section that we did last year and put another layer on it, as well as finish up the section that we did not complete last year. So, we'll be really glad to have that behind us. And the last thing, I know the grass is starting to get high. It kind of got a jump on us this year, but the bush hogs are out there and we're catching up as quickly as we can.
You got Bird Mountain done, that's what I hear.
Right, rain and sunshine, it all hit and warm, hit all at the same time, and it's like it jumped 6 inches in 1 week.
Yeah, that's what I told Kirk. I drove Hill City and then 2 weeks later went back and I've never seen it take off quite that fast. It was substantial. Roads questions, anything else? I know they've been responsive with this time of year. There seems to be a bunch of calls that come in on minor small things in roads that they've jumped on, and it worked out well. We had a call on a spot in Hill City, and I called to ask was he ever made aware of it, and they already had somebody lined up to come out before I made the phone call.
That's
So I got
something
to call
else I
back.
need to mention, big thanks to Moss Paving, he's been helping with a lot of our little small patches, stuff like that, and places where we replaced pipes, and he went back over them. So, yeah, big hats off to them, they're a really big help, and they do good work.
Were we able to get the pipe replacements done on Damascus?
Working on it.
They're still in
Yeah, we've
process.
had that road shut down for about a week. We've got, I think, 4 done so far, and we're going to jump over to Top Mine as soon as we get it done. One of the crews is going to go back to Damascus and keep working towards Family Acres and getting it ready, and hopefully as soon as we get through tar and graveling it, you know, we can bring that crew over and start on Damascus, on the far side of Damascus, Fort County line. That's the plan. Plans change.
Say kudos to you too. I think I talked to you probably more than any department head, just because of the nature of your business. But
That's gonna be a good thing.
you're always very responsive,
Yes,
and I
you are.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Must be why he didn't call me back, because he's something he off. I think he gets tired of seeing my numbers coming.
We'll just cut you out of the mix.
Okay. All right, who's next?
I think it's Randy or Jamie in here. I want to tell everybody, y'all see them guys, they do a heck of a job. I had some water damage on some electrical wires that shut my shredder and baler down. They jumped right in there, we got the wires out, they had a guy come in, reinstall them, and we're back up and running. And I mean, they dropped everything and come to help me get this thing back up and going. So if y'all see them, y'all give them a good pat on the back.
Them two boys don't get enough credit
Yeah,
for
they
what
don't.
they do.
They don't.
For those that don't know, Randy and Jamie are our maintenance department that handle all county buildings, and they will jump from a fire department to the animal shelter, and then back to here, and then over to the courthouse, and then back to, I mean,
They put more miles on the
they're
vehicle
constantly on
than
the go.
anybody.
Seem to stay on top of everything. So, and does it with a great attitude. If we could all
Oh,
have
yeah.
his attitude, it'd be
We're
pretty
over our
awesome.
pulling and everything, and they're just a smiling away, and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't see how, but yeah, we've definitely got two of the best, but don't let them know that because they may want more money. So,
I'll let them know in the morning.
yeah. They do incredible work.
I just got, well, I got 2 updates. I'm gonna let Lonnie give you an update on the GIS, but I spoke with Clayton Preble this morning, and our stone ledge generator will be here probably in the next week or 2. Thank goodness. We done got the transfer switch in, and so all they have to do is come and set it. They done got the pad poured, they'll set it, and we'll start it up, and we'll have all our pump stations covered. And also, well, I do have 2 things, I'm sorry, since I get started. We have as of today, went with a new pump company to do all of our O&M maintenance on all of our pump stations. They're out of Griffin. They're well-known. They're actually working Bent Tree. They work for Cherokee County. I met with a gentleman 2 weeks ago tomorrow, and they've got a good reputation. They've just hired a guy that's done it, and he's an electrical engineer. He lives in Blairsville, so he's close. He's gonna be our guy that does all of our work on our stations. So I've got a list of work for him to do probably the next week or so when we get all that scheduled. So we just went to them to have somebody we could call 24/7. I think that's it.
While we're on water, then I'll shift over and let Lonnie dive in with the update on GIS.
Well, everything's going tremendously well. We've got all the valves located except just a very few in the water system. And then we've been working on roads for about 2 weeks, a little over. And on the system, there'll be pinpoints come up whenever you pull this up. And it'll show you where road transitions are from pavement to gravel. It'll show you, there's a folder on there that will, gravel roads are a red color, tar and gravel's a yellow color, asphalt's a black color. And you can physically pull all three of those up and see where the roads are laid, and where the pavement changes and that to whatever. We're listing the bridges. We're listing all the culverts that we can find. Some of them are grown over with grass and weeds. We'll probably have to go back in the fall or after mowing or something and pick up what we've missed. And we've already located 445 culverts. And we're not even done yet. We've got the storage tank, water tanks on there, the vaults. I think we're up to 39 water line vaults that's in the ground, scattered across the county. All these will have GPS readings, and as of about 15 minutes ago, we have completed the link. I'll be letting the commissioners have that and look at it. And you can pull up and see everything that's been done, everything as it's done daily or weekly, whenever it's downloaded. And it's moving forward real good. The help from the county employees and things has been tremendous. It's been great, and I appreciate it.
Now, our original estimation was that this was going to take a couple of years to get to the point we're at, and we've done it in just a few months.
In the roads, we have completed all the east side of 515, and we started at Gimmer County, and we're working on Henderson Mountain Road now, going south. So it's moving so much faster than we ever expected.
And I got to give Christy credit for a lot of her work.
Yes.
911 to have a lot of these located in the system on the hydrants, and that gave a good fast track point to get it going. So thank you, Christy.
Very much. Just to add to that, our next goal is to get all of our meters done. That's the only thing we really are lacking, is having all of our meters GPS. And that's gonna take a little while and take all of our crews doing it, but we'll get that. And with y'all's permission, we might like to try to bring it in here at the first meeting of June, and so Lonnie can, walk y'all through and show y'all what he's done and see how it looks with all the layers, minus the layers. It's pretty impressive for the amount of time that he's done it. I mean, we was looking at 1.5 to 2 years, and like you said, it just went by so quick, and he's done a phenomenal job.
Either that or you've been here a lot longer than I have. Weird to say, I was afraid I may have been wrong, and you haven't been here that long.
So, but he's done a phenomenal job on it, and, Kirk's letting some of his guys go with Lonnie, so it helps him out a lot.
Yeah, but Kirk's gonna expect Lonnie to jump on a mower here in just a short time. Right? It may backfire just a little bit. He may want something in return, just like that joke. Any questions on water or the GIS? I think that's gonna be a huge addition. Jones hiding behind the marshal over there. Help you. I can't see.
So Park and Rec, we'll finish up with spring sports this week and next week, provided the rain gods are nice to us, we can get all the games played. Got with Moss Paving. They plan on starting around the 19th, 20th of June. And once they get back, family vacation and stuff, and then they're going to jump on the project and start working. Other than that, we called in for our environmental health inspection on the pool. I think she's supposed to be out there first of next week. I think they've got some people out of the office. As soon as that is approved, we'll be ready to go. And tentative, we plan on being open for Memorial Day weekend. So we'll be open Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then all the way through June, July. So,
Full swing.
busy time.
Holding water well this year?
Sure. None of the pumps have burned up, so
Okay, yeah.
that's a start.
You just said it out loud too, so.
Yeah.
I might know a guy.
So it's for those of you who don't know, pool's built in 1986. It is a constant struggle. The maintenance staff has done a great job. They've literally been working on it since we shut it down last summer, just picking at it all throughout the year. Got water in it sooner than we ever have before, so we're fingers crossed everything goes good with the health inspection and we'll be open for business. So.
Good. I'm excited to hear the dates on starting on the walking path too. I know there's a lot of people in the community excited to see that. So, thank you. Any others that want to dive in? Everybody else just wants to sit silent. Chief Prather, I've been seeing fire calls consistently coming through. Not the volume up or normal or?
It's run about average. I think we're still running some increase each year. We've just entered in the time of year now. We're trying to do our annual testing stuff. Did some hose testing yesterday. Next week we're doing our pump service test on our trucks. We started hydrant maintenance. Hopefully we don't get upset on the water department over there, but we don't plan on doing a lot of testing. Just out to make sure they're working. Trying to keep training up, and when we can, run them calls. So staying pretty busy. Every day's a challenge. We're busy.
We appreciate it. I know we'll talk about it in our regular meeting, but the airport's got an exciting event coming up in June on the 10th. So I'll let you guys, first if you would introduce yourself to the board, and then you can give us what's going on the 10th.
Hi, my name is Alexis Walker. I'm taking over as the airport manager. On June 10th, we're having a military appreciation day, but more importantly, we're having a groundbreaking ceremony for our terminal. So the groundbreaking ceremony will begin at 9 a.m. And then directly after that at 10 a.m., the military appreciation will start. A lot of fun stuff planned. We'll have bounce houses, vendors, helicopter rides, and just a ton of fun stuff. So definitely get the word out and invite the community. The more the better. So nice to meet you.
So I couldn't remember your last name for the reason I did
That's
that.
okay.
In the way that I did, and I apologize.
I can't remember it sometimes either.
Came from a Navy background, if I'm mistaken. So,
Yes, sir.
so it seems to be jumping in full feet first, going full speed. I know Randy had announced he was going to retire at a meeting last month or month before last, in March. So they've been working hard to get her up and going, and they've been able to work together for a period of time. So
It's been great.
should be good. And she knows how to run the bush hog, so she was out there mowing the other day.
It's peaceful. It's air conditioned, so it's.
Kurt lit up when I said that. You can't have a snake on the side of the highway.
Hey, she's even filling up jets. She's on it.
We appreciate it very much, and they'll have formal invitation if you hadn't already received an invitation yet. On the email. So very good. Anything further anyone wants to cover? Any discussion? You guys have got any questions or projects or anything?
Say anything, man. Don't put me in the back.
Learned a valuable lesson.
I did.
You got quoted the first time at Sunrise. I said, "Welcome to my world." I read it every week and think, did I really say that? And sure enough, I did. try to be careful now.
That's what I've never
There's
said.
one at Facebook, it's one of the funniest quotes ever, and I kept thinking, there's no way I actually said that, until I went back and watched the meeting on No Pickens and realized, yeah, out of context, that one line, I did make that statement. It's the way to really look smart. So. All right, well, we will go ahead and adjourn the work session. We've got our 5:30 regular meeting that's coming up. I appreciate everybody for coming in. And we'll kick off again here in just a few minutes.